We've all just been going through this with everybody else, watching the entertainment industry fall apart right before our very eyes, watching our favorite characters be mistreated in different perspectives, whether that's in comics, whether that's in movies, whether that's in video games. It's happening all across the board. Now we've ended up in this place here, and I think this is just, again, as I tweeted out the other day, it's just the beginning. It's just interesting. It's just a little interesting. The timing, Gary, there's a movie coming out in a day or two, and that movie seems to be the beginning of the end, or maybe it's the end of the end of the MCU.
The universe unfolds as it should, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All of this stuff happening. There's a book written by Marvel that kind of roasts them a little bit. An article roasts them. Both of them, I think, are leaked by Kevin Feige because a lot of the roasting, little of it has to do with him, which is strange. But then South Park coming out, and not once, but twice, Marvel leaning into the meme. From the article, we learned that Blade was going to be the fourth character in his own story. You know, Blade, the guy who, the Daywalker, who hunts vampires and kills vampires. Probably the simplest fucking movie to make, story to write of all time, is the fourth character in his own movie in the script that they rejected, with 3 other women. And it's a story about life lessons, which is very and people are like, how shocking. I'm like, no, that's been Marvel for the last 4 years. It's actually very consistent. But they put 3 chicks in it, made it lame and gay. But then the Marvels trailer comes out during Monday Night Football, and all of a sudden it's not this goofy Marvel thing.
Oh, no,
it's very serious. And the first 25 seconds are other superheroes that aren't going to be in it, like Iron Man and Captain America.
Yeah.
They made Dar-Ben a chick. Not sure if she's gay. She's definitely lame. The trailer relates her to Thanos, like she's finishing his work. But the best part, Chuck, was Valkyrie. Remember Defenders back in the 70s? Remember Valkyrie being a black woman?
Oh yeah,
and gay.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
They put Valkyrie. That's going to be the cameo in the Marvels. So they put another chick in it and made her literally gay and lame, which is the South Park meme. For that to happen all within a week of each other it's nice. But as I said in my last video, Jeremy, we had to lose so much to start winning, which sucks because we've lost so many good things that could still be good right now and should still be good forever.
Well, yeah, I mean, like we were talking about with the trailer that just came out, might as well them just going, you know, all those guys on YouTube and bitching about us were right, because you spent the first 20 seconds showing the characters that everybody loves that are not going to be in your movie.
Dude, and it's the second time. Yeah. It's the second trailer they've done this.
Well, this is easier than them, jamming all of those superhero cameos into that Flash movie to try to save it.
No.
Yes.
Oh, right?
It's not going to happen. I know we're talking about the demise of Marvel, the sadness of Captain Marvel and all this bollocks. I'll tell you what, one massive positive that we got out of it was independent creators. People are just like, well, if we can't get what we want with not just our favorite heroes, but the easiest setup that you could possibly have within a nerd community, all you had to do was make something that resembled that, and it's a no-brainer. You know, even Batman and Robin took a decent amount of money considering what a complete clusterfuck it was of a film, but they don't. You are bringing in people who are not just anti-customer, they don't even like the characters that they're dealing with, or they have no understanding of the characters. They are there for optics. They are there to present to the press as some sort of trophy, but they are not somebody who knows the universes, knows the world, understands just basic stuff about heroicism. The heroes aren't heroes anymore. They're heroes in name only, because none of them ever exhibit anything that we should support or get behind. We're just told you need to like them because they are them. And we like, and we've gravitated towards Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, Green Arrow, Wonder Woman, Storm, whoever it may be. We've gravitated towards them because of the actual content of the comics and and who those characters are. Because we've said, I like this fucking character. They got something about them. Even the Guy Gardners, Guy Gardner back in the Justice League International. What an absolute tosser. And you loved him for it because he was very well written as a character. And more importantly, he had character. All these people on the screen, they've got no fucking character. They've got no personality. They don't exhibit any heroicism. They're not doing anything for us to support or get behind. We're just told it by the studio because they've got a vagina, or they've got a certain skin pigmentation, or a certain ethnicity, or a certain sexuality or religion. That's what it's being based on. And we're normal human beings. We live in a real world. We've all had real life experience. And we know that's not how life works. So when we don't, as normal human beings, when we don't see, we're told, but when we don't see anything there's nothing to get into. There's nothing to invest ourselves into. We've got a corporate fandom now. That's what we've got. It's a corporate fandom. And anytime a corporate is attached to something niche, it fails because they always try to make the niche mainstream.
Absolutely. And I love the point that you made today, Gary. Y'all were talking about gatekeeping. You basically said, like, there's really no gatekeeping in fandom in terms of, like, if you are new to something and you come into it and you want to be interested and you start asking questions, fans are going to open up to you and start teaching you about it. And because fans want to talk about the thing that they love, and they love introducing the thing they love to new people that are interested. But the moment you start walking into a fandom and you start calling people racist, or things need to change, or the patriarchy, or straight white males need to go, you can go fuck yourself.
That's what got me originally pissed in the early days of when Comicsgate was the consumer movement part, and I'm noticing this stuff, and I kind of took a couple years off after selling my comic shop and just wanted to dip back in, and I started seeing this toxic fandom term, but it really started coming up, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Toxic fandom? Where is this shit coming from? And it sounds like it's coming from the type of asshole who would come to Thanksgiving dinner and start talking about politics and blame everybody else for telling them to shut the fuck up. And that's what the access media turned into. Yes, there's always been political stories. Yes, there's always been political comics. Yes, there's been undertones. But you know what? Chuck Dixon was able to navigate those waters just fine for decades. The fans were able to navigate those waters. I've been a Star Trek fan, a Doctor Who fan my entire fucking life, a Marvel Comics fan. I liked all kinds of creatives. I didn't care what their politics were. That never really was a freaking problem until very recently. We're talking 5 or 6 years. What changed? It wasn't the fans. The fans didn't fucking change, but that's the way they tried to put it. That's the narrative they tried to run that created this whole sphere